Well, this has been quite a year for me. A good performance review at work, went on my first family vacation with my wife and oldest child, saw my second daughter be brought into this world, and above all else, hit my arbitrary goal for this channel of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And then some. Welcome aboard, everyone. I really can't thank y'all enough for all the support. I began the year at just over 100 subscribers, and I made a goal to myself to try to get to 1,000. Well, needless to say, that's been met, and I couldn't be more excited to see how 2026 goes. I thought it might be fun, although a little self-indulgent, to take time at the end of the year to look back on the videos over this past year and just give my thoughts on them and how they came about. If that's something you're interested in, then find a pleasurable beverage of your choice and join me in the Quarter Life Burnouts Year in Review for 2025. The first video I want to discuss was actually posted in mid-December of last year, but I just enjoy it too much to not include it. I mean, after all, this is my channel, and you're supposed to be indulging me. Conspiracy Theories is my second Seinfeld-related video, and it came about through sadness at the poor reception of the first video, among with stumbling upon a great meme and having an entire night of talking to myself. See, my favorite video I've made so far is Jerry Seinfeld is Wrong. I genuinely think of this video as my best work, and I laugh whenever I think of it. If you haven't seen it yet, I would highly encourage you to do so. I put it out shortly after what was at the time my most viewed video, This Manga is an Unhinged Experience, and was honestly surprised by the stark contrast in viewership. Anyway, I was in San Juan, Texas, which is right here, for a wedding for a college friend of mine, and I was leaving at about 10 p.m. to drive to Columbus, Texas, which, as everyone knows, is here. It was for a 5K race at 8 a.m. I do these 5Ks at breweries in Texas through a company called Run in Texas. They're good folks. I was going to have a lot of time by myself as my wife and daughter were already in Columbus. I saw this meme a day or two prior, and it just got in my head as I was driving that I thought the phrasing would be hilarious if someone mistook it as a conspiracy theory, in the sense of someone believing the Seinfeld show was a documentary. I then conversed with myself, as one does, for the preceding hour or two in my drive as I munched on my triple Whataburger and fries. As one does. Once I got to the hotel my wife was staying in at around 4:30 a.m., I rapidly wrote down the general flow I wanted and got my beauty rest before my race, which I didn't do too bad in. Thank God for carbo loading. The next video is actually from 2025. It's my Pokemon Ruby core memory. There's a theme through the first videos here where I saw a meme and a video kind of came out of it. I saw the Pedro Pascal meme used in the thumbnail for the 100th time, and I thought to myself, I mean, that was literally me. What if I just talk about that in a video? I had tried making more personal, anecdotal videos before, but this topic felt more relatable to me, and quite frankly, I'll take any excuse I can to talk about Generations 2 through 4 Pokemon. I do have more I want to cover about Generation 3, and now that I'm starting to feel more confident in my video creation abilities, I think I can make a more cohesive video on the subject. Once I started talking about the day I brought that game home, I just had a visual that had come to my mind from time to time over the years of how putting that game into my GBA felt for the first time. And I can only imagine it isn't too dissimilar to people who played A Link to the Past and then started playing Ocarina of Time right afterwards. I must have had Generation 3 heavy on my mind, and it was influencing my algorithms because the next video I did was the masculine urge to play Pokemon Emerald, which, as I discussed in the video, came from a meme that brought that phrase to my attention, and I haven't let it go since. In this video, I took more of an approach to actually discussing the game, although through a solely nostalgic lens rather than an actual overview. This video actually did pretty well viewership-wise, but I honestly wasn't as happy with how it turned out. I had a lot of moments and jokes written out in my head when the idea for the video was formulating, but sadly, by the time I got to writing it down, I forgot a good chunk of them, and I do think the video suffers for that. I personally felt it lost some of the original identity as it progresses, but overall I'm still happy to have made it. I'll make more Generation 3 related videos down the road, and hopefully with more cohesion and polish. Next up was the Dragon Ball Z Manga is Timeless. This video I started writing a couple months after publishing my Dragon Ball manga video, which that was actually my first scripted video, ever. It took me a couple months to do my reread, then I started writing a video script. The intro to this video I made on Christmas Day of 2023, and I still think it's one of my favorite things I've ever made. After I finished making that intro, I started writing the rest of the script, but kind of realized I didn't know what I wanted to talk about, just that I wanted to gush about how incredible the manga is. And then, as I was trying to write the script, Akira Toriyama unfortunately passed away, and I just didn't want to capitalize on that, or even give the impression I was trying to, and kind of just figured I'd hold off on making the video altogether until the time felt right. I think I might revisit this idea down the road once my script writing chops evolve, but for now I'm happy with how this video turned out. Following just after the Dragon Ball Z video comes Cars, a masterclass in world building. And this honestly just came from watching Cars on repeat for months and borderline memorizing the entire movie. There's kind of this interesting thing that happens once you've seen a movie hundreds of times where, since you know the story and the characters so well, you almost lock in and focus on minute details or start seeing where the writing may actually not be that great, or in the case of the Cars movie, be very well done. When I made this video, I wasn't aware that apparently I'm not the only person who has made this observation, but man, do I wish this video got the views that some of those other guys got. The next video is a fun one that I wrote years ago, but just didn't know how to make an actual video about it at the time. Mistborn and Gurren Lagann are eerily similar is just a dumb thought I had when I finished reading the Mistborn trilogy, and had the thought that they had a similar structure to each other. I wear it with pride that I'm probably too big of a Gurren Lagann fan for my own good. And I thought it would be a funny idea to pretend Brandon Sanderson was plagiarizing the anime I love to pieces. It became especially funny to me when I came to learn that Mistborn was actually published a year before Gurren Lagann was serialized. As I was writing the script, it popped in my head that Aragon also has a couple similarities. So I wanted to add a joke about that in there. I think the problem with social media is, I believe, a video I need to make a follow-up to in the near future. The idea was this was originally supposed to be a funny video based off what became the thumbnail, but as I was writing it, I found myself getting pretty introspective. I noticed that although the view count wasn't as high as a couple of the other videos I had made at that time, the comment section was overflowing with people who related to what I talked about, and honestly, it was really touching to hear from people saying something I had made resonated with them in an important way. I hope to keep making videos that people find themselves in and want to share their stories through. Since publishing that video and really thinking back on it, I actually went and deleted all my social media accounts except for this YouTube channel. It's been really freeing, and I've already noticed a lot of the random anxiety I would have is mostly gone, and that I just feel more present each day. I also suddenly feel like the days are just longer, but in a good way. Like, they used to just go by in a flash, whereas now I actually get to experience the different parts of the day. And I actually quit social media pretty much cold turkey. It really wasn't that hard. I just did a permanent delete on all accounts, and I'm honestly surprised there were no withdrawals, at all. I think if I did it any other way, I would have just gone back eventually, whereas this way it's definitive. It's done. I'm free. Noida the Entropy Simulator is a video idea I talked about a lot with Extra Shoddy, and finally wrote it when he said he was bringing back his Noida series. I am by no means an expert in that game, and felt like a little bit of a fraud making a video about it that wasn't just a Let's Play. But it's just such a special game in my heart for what it is, and what it means to my friendship with Extra Shoddy, and what it did for this channel, that I felt I needed to make it. And then it just exploded to 12,000 views and brought in 200 subscribers, and I just felt like I was never going to figure out what the heck YouTube is as a platform. And then after that, I made a web fishing video. I'd just been spending a lot of time playing web fishing and just felt like talking about it. Especially since I had no issues getting Extra Shoddy to play that, but he, to this day, still refuses to play Animal Crossing with me. That bastard. I then took my family to Disney World and had an incredible time watching my 2-year-old daughter just erupt with joy in Magical Kingdom. I'd written a video script about this experience and started editing it, and maybe I'll finish editing it and release it, but I started second-guessing myself and I just ended up trashing it. I then tried writing a few video scripts, one being about hating Blitzball after taking 7 attempts to win the mandatory match that you don't have to win, but Waka's gonna be sad. But nothing really felt like it mattered as I was writing it. Between being swamped with work and getting ready to bring home a second child, I just didn't have it in me to make a video I felt represented me. And then months just passed without making anything. I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to be coming back to making anything. Like, maybe I just didn't have a creative bone in my body. Then my daughter was born, and I had this thing called paternity leave. Something I didn't have with my first daughter. And suddenly I kind of just felt creative again. So I made a video about Circuit City. I do not know what compelled me to do this. I was just walking my oldest daughter, trying to get her to take a nap, and I just started reminiscing on my own childhood. It was probably due to letting my mind wander while on these 2-hour-long phone calls with Extra Shoddy while he talked about OSRS. After thinking on it for a while, I figured others probably loved this store like I did, so I decided to make a video about it. In hindsight, I almost wish I hadn't, because finding any footage about it is almost impossible. What did exist was in horrendous quality. I mean, just look at the footage in the video. That was literally the best I could find. It was hours of just searching for footage that was usable for this video. But I'm glad I made that video because it got me creating again. And I don't think I could have expected the response that was coming next. Gaming Is Not That Serious is by far my most viewed video. And it's surprisingly still going. This is a very new experience for me. This video was incredibly important to me for all the reasons I outlined in the video, but also just for the fact that a lot of games I played from 2022 onward, I always had in the back of my mind that I could make content about them. Whether it was, oh, maybe instead of playing this in my free time, I should stream this. Or, I need to take notes as I play so I can remember how I felt when I read a script. And those thoughts became almost paralyzing when approaching any new games. And I honestly don't know why I thought that way. At the time I was playing Tales of Vesperia, I had like 20 subscribers on YouTube and at most 3 concurrent viewers on any given Twitch stream. No one, and I mean no one, was watching me. I don't need to save everything for content, especially because most of what I wanted to play would have made awful content. But there I was, getting swept up in optimizing what to play and how to play and when to play and where to play it instead of just playing a video game to have fun. Don't be like me, man. Life's too short. Just play some good games and have some fun. The last video of the year is my Steam Machine video, which honestly I think is going to be the last video I actively respond to every comment on. That video is what made me realize that people will find any reason in the world to be upset about something, and engaging with those people in good faith is only going to lead to my own frustration. I now get why bigger YouTubers talk about not even looking at comments, but I'm doing this as a hobby because I want to share stories with other folks across the internet. So I think from now on, I'll just be more selective in which comments I respond to. Long story short, my perspective is, if it's not hurting anyone, just let people enjoy the things they're excited about. Not everybody's in the same boat as each other, and one person's right answer might be a wrong answer for somebody else. Just let people have some fun. Anyway, I'm done with that soapbox. That leads us to today. I've got a few scripts I'm in the middle of editing to start out the next year, and I honestly can't wait to share the final videos with you all. I have a feeling 2026 will be a great year for the Burnouts. I think I'm going to try and have a retrospective video at the end of every year, but maybe less conceited than this one was, as I'd like it to be more of a reflection of the activities I did rather than the videos I made. I just felt since this year was the first year I took content creation more seriously, I'd like to have a bit of a behind the scenes on the videos. All that being said, I wish you all a fantastic year. Let me know down in the comments if you have any goals or resolutions for the year. I'm planning to keep working on this channel, and I'm setting a goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. Whether we actually get there or not's not really what's important. But having what feels like an outrageous goal certainly makes the journey more fun. I mean, I never would have thought this channel would bring in 1,000 random folks from across the internet, and here we are sitting at 1,300. On that note, if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it, ignore all buttons if you didn't. And until next time, keep it tuned in.